Calling all units, calling all units. Donut shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.
Oh, all the expensive stuff is in here.
Yeah, especially the table.
It is. It's the most expensive now. Ready?
Cedar.
Ready?
All right. Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
We are in.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What do you got there? A Yeti.
I got something that you always have as well. Yeah.
A Yeti.
Talking about what's inside.
Water.
No, keep going.
What's in
Coffee.
the
Oh,
Yeti?
Aminos.
Aminos. Remember
Amino
that? Day?
Energies. Wow. That's a good story.
Yeah, that's a real good
We
story.
could tell it in the podcast.
Sure. Hey,
Speaking
we're
of,
here.
We're here right now.
It's starting?
It started.
Okay, good.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Nick from Nick Off Duty and other channels.
And Justin from Florida.
Yeah, and today we have a very special guest. You want to say your name, Major?
My name is Major Ramos. Miami Police Department.
Okay. Major Ramos.
Yes.
It's kind of weird. It's my major right here. Those that are listening that are aspiring to be police officers and not familiar with the structure of rank, he's up there. He's up there. So this is my boss.
Yeah, it's a Sunday though.
It's a Sunday. Sunday fun day.
Yeah, don't forget to shave.
Please. Wait, you're leaving the magic out. They think that we record this immediately and put it up on social media.
Yeah, there's some vetting process going on. So anyways, welcome everybody to the show. We have a lot of people aspiring to be police officers that are out there searching for content. And I think you're going to find this episode to be interesting because my major is the major over one of the part of the section is a police academy. So we're gonna pick his brain on the police academy.
Some of the training maybe and a little bit of
what it takes. However, before we divulge and get into all that good stuff, let's get a little backstory on you, sir. Can I call you sir or major? What am I gonna call you?
Your Excellency, whatever.
Your Excellency.
Whatever flows off the tongue. Supremacy.
Yes. Can I call you sire?
Yeah, there you go.
Sire. Okay.
Hang on, let me change that in the notes real quick.
Yeah. So quick backstory, so they know that you're educated. You are well educated or very I mean, I think you're educated compared to other people, myself being one of them. You are can I call you doctor?
No, don't.
You're a doctor. Guy's got his doctorates.
Doctor
the
of
real
what?
deal.
Yeah.
So go ahead, explain a little bit.
Well, before you get a doctorate degree, right, you have to start small.
Become a nurse.
Yeah, exactly. Every time they ask me, I'm the type of doctor that doesn't help people medically.
Yeah.
But no, when I was in the academy, actually I was trying to get my bachelor's as well. And then I want to say I finished the academy and I started my master's right away.
Okay.
So I think education is important. We'll talk a little bit more about it. I went to FIU, Golden Panthers.
Rawr.
Yeah.
That's what they do, right?
No.
Like the football games.
Yeah, exactly.
The football games,
So,
they do
yeah,
that.
I went to, not Metro Zoo,
okay.
FIU.
All right. So
So, got a master's from there, criminal justice. Got another master's in public administration as well as I moved up.
Whoa.
And then 4 years ago, I said, man, let me try to get a doctorate degree. Let me put some theory into practice, or practice into theory, depending how you want to see it. And I got a doctorate in education.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
Oh, man.
That's something that's like, you know what? I'm going to try to get a doctor's degree. That's something that's like, man, I think I'm going to, try to learn how to do jiu-jitsu or something. No, you're like, I'm going to be a doctor. That's big.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Especially for where you're at now. Comes in handy.
Yeah, I agree.
Rolls it right into the police academy aspect.
It does. And just to bring it up, I think very soon, a lot of people are going to have bachelor's degrees, especially police officers. And the trend is going towards that. So I think it's good to always remember to, take it one step because everybody behind you is trying to catch up to you. And then soon, I want to say in 5 to 10 years, everybody's going to have a master's degree.
Think so?
The ones that want to compete, right? The ones that want to get promoted.
Good thing I'll be retired by that time.
Yeah, you're right if you're timing it correctly.
Yeah.
But then the guys that are doing podcasts, they're all gonna have everybody's trying to make themselves better. So I think learning is a lifelong process, and the second you think you know it all is when you stop learning. And
so the guy who's out there, maybe 1 year into college or just got into, or girl, sorry, the person that's out there, They got their. I got this. You know what? I want to start my career now. So what do you think? What do you recommend? Continue school? I think it's hard. I mean, you were fortunate enough. Was it hard being a police officer at the time because you were going through the academy, or at least a recruit, and trying to do your school at the same time? Is it harder?
Yeah, it was difficult.
Yeah.
I remember, I went to Miami-Dade North.
Yeah.
Those BLE classes, they still have.
Same here.
Yeah.
Nearly 253.
Yeah. And I remember getting out like at 5 o'clock and then having to drive 45 minutes to go to FIU when you used to have to take classes,
Yeah.
face to face.
On campus,
Yeah,
yeah.
on campus.
Yeah.
And it was difficult. But anything that's difficult, man, makes you so much stronger.
Ooh.
And I think I am who I am because of those difficulties that I had, those challenges. And if anybody thinks they can't do it, I usually tell them the jump is scary, but the water's not that cold. Okay,
that's
it's just throwing yourself and going through those through those adversities. Once you get through it, so once I got that bachelor's, and I said, man, this is a walk in the park because I've learned so much.
Yeah.
Then the other ones just came very, very simple. Except the doctorate degree, that was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Really? What does it take? What do you got to do?
Man, I made my thesis or my the final research that you have to do. It's 150 pages on procedural justice, which relates a lot to law enforcement, and it's just a long process.
Yeah.
So if you stick by it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I gave up a couple times, but then at the end I saw that it is so much more worth it. Like committing to something is, and we'll talk about how it relates to the police academy.
Yeah.
How commitment is one of the most important things, or if not the most important thing, if you want to become a police officer.
That's right. And it's cool to sign your name, doctor.
And I don't do that either.
You don't do that?
Yeah,
How
no,
many-
just prescription. No, I'm kidding.
How many abbreviations do you have in front of or before your name?
So the I want to say the rule of law is that once you get a doctorate degree, you don't put the other ones.
Okay.
So if let's say you have an MBA or an MPA, you'll put MBA, comma MPA as well because you have 2 master's degree. But once you get a doctorate degree, nothing really besides that. So it's just EDD, so it's a doctorate in education.
Your position, what you're over, what's your umbrella?
Okay.
What umbrella are you holding?
So our department happens to have a training academy that has to be certified by the state of Florida, CJSTC. So I'm a training director because we have a police training academy.
Yeah.
Some other departments have training units, but they don't necessarily have accreditation to actually run a police academy.
To teach anybody outside the agency.
Correct.
Yeah.
So besides that, I am the training director for the police academy, which covers every single PAC class that we do.
Yes.
But I am the in-service training major that covers every in-service class and every specialized course that we actually could do through CJSTC, through the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
So to clarify, there's the academy, which is it's a wing, okay,
Correct.
and then the other side you have the in-service, which is the officers that are out there in the street that have to get their certifications, renew their certifications, or they have to qualify with their weapon.
Correct.
That falls under you. You
Yeah.
fall under that training.
Yeah.
So any active shooter trainings that we do, FIT
Yeah.
is one.
You guys also offer training to other agencies to come into that side where you guys produce a class or put on a class that other agencies locally may
Yes.
come and attend as well.
Correct.
So I mean,
Yes.
it's a big.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a big undertaking.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility. So they provide, the state of Florida gives us funds to not only provide training for our officers, but the region itself. So if we put a active shooter class,
Yeah.
we invite, half of the class attendees to be from Sunrise, to be from Metro-Dade, from and anywhere along our region.
Yeah, local agencies around the region. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they come. So it's you have a multitude of things going on, a lot of working parts. A single academy is hard to maintain, let alone an entire agency, let alone regional agencies coming in. So that's a lot of stuff going on there.
It is, and it's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
But having a good group,
Yes.
it's important.
Shout out to the good group. I'm part of that group.
Shout out to our red shirts. Everybody but Nick. I'm kidding. And what I try to do is, and my guys know it, I push decision making down to the lowest rank. So Nick, I want you to be making those decisions.
Yeah.
Because you're the one
Shout
on
out
the
to the
ground.
lowest ranks out there.
I was like,
And the most rookie red shirt. So if my lieutenants and my sergeants and the officers or registers there are having my back, there's not a lot, for me to do. It's a large undertaking, but if everybody takes a piece of that undertaking, man, it's very simple.
So moving forward, all right. So now that we got all that, let's talk to the recruit or future recruit or the people that maybe have gone through the academy or just like, hey man, I want to hear about what the academy is going on today. Moving forward, and again, like I said, bypassing the hiring process, academy. Here we go. How does one prepare? I got my application, I'm good to go, or should they start preparing prior to the hiring process? How does one start preparing physically, mentally, all that stuff?
Yeah, and I think just to put in perspective, and not because we're all in law enforcement, but we're a special group of people.
Yeah.
And it's something that it has to be in you. It's something that you're gonna want to have to do for the rest of your life, and that's why it starts with commitment. And I spoke about it a little bit more. You have to have that commitment to say, this is what I want to do. I am gonna do it every single moment, and I am not gonna. Once the new car smell, comes off.
Yep.
Once you get that, that pay cut.
Yep.
Or once the bottles start, flying. I'm not gonna want to do it anymore.
the belt starts hurting when you put it on.
Correct.
It's no longer comfy and fun.
Yes, there's.
to put that belt on.
You're completely right. You have to have a grit about it. And this is not from me. This is from the people that excel at doing very important things in life. You need to have a purpose for it. There needs to be something bigger. There needs to be a why, for it.
I was going to ask you today, in today's climate, you still recommend to these guys that are like, man, I want to be a police officer, but wow, they're going through some stuff right now. Maybe I'll wait till this blows over. Or what do you say to those people out there, especially today?
Yeah.
What do you say to them?
I say commit to it.
Yeah.
If it's something that you want to do wholeheartedly, if it's not going to be because, so initially when you look at law enforcement, back in the 30s, 40s, before it became a career, people were doing it for survival, right? And it goes back into, I need to get paid, I need to find a good job, I'm going to become a police officer.
Yeah.
That in today's world is not the recipe. Then it became, when we started to get recognized, they started to say, you know what, this is a good paying job. The benefits are good. There's that carrots and sticks, right? You do something, you're gonna get something. You're gonna get something for it.
Yeah.
I could do 30 years here and have a good career and be able to be well off, right, for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you get a nice pension.
Yeah, I get a nice pension.
Yeah.
That's not good enough anymore.
No.
It has to be intrinsic. It has to be something within you that says, man, I want to make a difference. And I hate to sound, like, we're an Oprah or something like that. But, man, it has to be a daily decision that you say, I'm going to go out there and I am going to do my part. And I'm going to do my part to the max. I am not just going to take a playoff, coach.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that you consistently have to do. So first I tell them to commit. You have to have that, you have to have that commitment there. And then you need to practice, okay? You need to become better at your craft and understand that even before the academy, there's a lot of things you could do. Most of them include physical, but a lot of them include cognitively. And reading is so important when it comes to, preparing for the academy. So
Yeah.
You're thinking about it, you're 19, 20 years of age, start to practice, start to read, find a mentor, find someone that could give you something, and then concentrate on that purpose. And then lastly, I want to say have some hope, because it's a long process.
Yeah.
And if it might not occur the first, second time, I myself didn't get picked up by the first agency that I try to.
Either. Same here.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, exactly. So there needs to be a sense of hope that if you really want this, you're going to continue to do it.
Yeah.
But it can be backwards. So sometimes they say, You'll get a young kid or a young girl, boy or girl say, oh, okay, I just want to be a police officer so bad. No, but start at the beginning. You got to start with that commitment. You got to start with that passion.
Yeah.
It can be hope and then trickle.
Right.
You got to start with the passion first. Then you start practicing at what you want to do. Then you find that purpose, and then the hope is gonna
Can't
become.
necessarily be a fallback either, where it's like, well, I don't think I can achieve these two things. Police officer is going to be my last choice.
I got kicked out of the fire academy.
Yeah.
Yeah. To his point.
I think I'm going to be a police officer.
Yeah. So
On the
on,
contrary.
on that note, let's take a quick break,
Oh, break
and
time
then
already.
let's come back and talk a little bit about sponsored, self-sponsored, and that kind of stuff. So we'll be right back.
Sounds
Got
good.
it.
This portion of the podcast is brought to you by How to Teach K-12 Online. It's written by Angela Lawrence. You can find it on Amazon. You can order a hard copy or download the Kindle version. Inside this handbook, teachers will learn over 20 strategies to support a teacher as they transition from face-to-face to online instruction. Administrators in schools will find a launching pad for professional development. And parents that are homeschooling online for the first time can get an inside scoop into how to teach students in a virtual classroom. So this handbook is ranked #1, that's right, in Espanol, numero uno, in professional development in new releases by Amazon. Pick up a copy today. You can, again, a digital copy on your Kindle, or you can order the hard copy paperback on Amazon today. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
Well, thank you to those sponsors. And
Gracias.
speaking about sponsors,
Ooh.
let's talk about sponsorship and not sponsored as far as how you get into the academy and what you do.
Yeah.
Because we talked to Chris one of the last episodes. He used the GI Bill.
Yeah.
Explain sponsored, self-sponsored, and stuff to us.
So basically, sponsored means that an agency, you apply to an agency, you went through their process. Their process, there's some things that are mandated by the state that we have to do before we hire anybody. And that just means that the agency is going to say, hey, we're going to hire you, contingent on you, of course, getting a certification from the state of Florida, which is what we provide, and passing the state officer's exam. Self-sponsored just means you're making that, you're taking that chance on yourself. And you're saying, I am going to put myself through the academy. I'm going to pay whatever tuition, that academy has. And I'm going to hope that in the meanwhile, I'm looking for a police agency that wants to pick me up.
During that academy.
During or after, it really depends on them. Many times it's easier afterwards because a lot of the appointments that you have do not conflict, with our police academy. Although our police academy is from Tuesday to Friday.
Yes.
Right, Nick? But for you, it's Wednesday to Friday because you take a lot of time off. But
Can we move this bottom? I feel like it's
Is
messing
it?
up your shot.
I know.
All right. So,
But,
little jab at me. I like that.
But so, so they could be picked up in the academy. And so the Miami Academy has spots open for self-sponsorship, right?
Correct. But I don't want you to think also that we're just going to take your money and put you in.
Right.
We also do a background check. You still have to pass a physical agility test. You have to pass a medical exam. We actually, whatever our guidelines are, you have to meet them as well. Because we feel as though, or I feel as though, if I cannot give you a job on my own or in my agency, I'm not going to waste your time
Right.
to take your money and certify you.
Yeah, so making sure that these individuals coming into the academy are able to put their best foot forward and represent what you guys are able to put out as well.
Correct.
Like
Yeah.
a trained person, you would hope.
Yeah.
And you're hoping the best for all these people probably,
Yeah.
that they're picking up a job
And
right
for the
away.
most part, as they're leaving or right before they leave, they have a job somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're so careful into who we bring into our academy.
Well, how much ballpark? I don't know the exact, but how much is it for a self-sponsored person to come through?
It's $6,100.
Is
Yeah.
that a ballpark? Or is that on the
That
dot?
is right on the dot.
And it's all accounted for with ammunition. That pays for like ammunition,
Correct.
uniforms, and
Correct. That pays for everything.
Coffee?
field trips.
Yeah, field trips. We got a lot of field trips.
So sponsored agency pays for all that.
Correct.
Yeah. So they're gonna put you through, and you also get paid by the department.
You're an employee.
You're an employee,
Yeah.
so you're getting a paycheck, and you're getting that. I guess sponsored would be like a scholarship. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. It's training.
Yeah.
Right? So you're training before you actually get the job, which is why it's so important that if you want to prepare for this, especially as a self-sponsored recruit, that you really have some time to think of how you're gonna plan your life. Are you gonna be working?
Yeah.
While you're in the academy, this is
Yeah.
40 hours a week. Are you gonna be supporting a parent?
yeah,
Are you
family.
gonna be supporting a family?
Yeah.
It is an extremely important decision. It can be a fallback. You know, it can't be one of those things that, oh, maybe I'll succeed in this and maybe I'll have a real nice job. It's got to be something that you give 100% at.
Yeah, and usually the sponsored people, they got a lot riding, and they're really, really good.
I was just going to say that.
Self-sponsored, sorry,
Yeah.
self-sponsored.
I've noticed in life when you're against the wall.
Yes.
And I don't want to say that a self-sponsored recruiter is against the wall, but when you don't give yourself another choice in life, man, you really succeed. You really do well. And I wish we did that with everything. You know, and that thing that's really not important. Man, let me tell myself, hey, I'm against the wall on this. I have to do great. I have to chase perfection, because when you chase perfection and you don't catch it, what you catch is excellence. Yeah. It's a John Wooden quote. It's a Vince Lombardi thing, right? So I tell the recruits, hey, this is what we're gonna shoot for.
Yeah.
And the second you don't catch it, what's gonna be? It's gonna be excellence.
Yeah.
Because we all can't be perfect. Actually, our motto is committed to excellence, right? Because we're trying to get to that.
What is
You guys
that?
have those quotes on the wall?
Sure.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff on the wall.
Shoot for the stars and land on the moon, kid.
Yeah.
Did you put that one up?
No, I just made that up. No, actually, that's one of the old.
In your desk.
That's gonna be next time you retire.
Exactly. Take that off your desk whenever you get back, please.
Shoot for the stars. Right. So, I am sponsored, self-sponsored, whatever it is. I'm in the doors, right? What can I expect? So I know PT, DT, and we're gonna break down these acronyms.
Yeah.
Firearms, driving. Because a lot of people wonder, and it's you don't see this a lot. Academies, for some reason, they don't open up their doors for the outside to come look in. And I know we give tours here and there, but it's not a general thing. There's no TV show. Anybody out there that is looking to start one, please contact us.
Number will be right here.
There's no TV show about the academy. And man, I think education is huge to people that are, and I don't use ignorant as a negative term, but you just don't know what it is that's going on in this. So you come up with your own conclusions.
Yeah.
So let's pull back the curtains a little bit on what goes on in the academy.
Don't go by the police academy movies.
Yeah, don't go by that.
Yeah, especially that main one. Especially that main one.
So don't go by the police tackleberry and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Although there might be a character here and there that,
Exactly.
that meets with that. But let's pull back the curtains a little bit about what to expect in the police academy. Brand new recruit, day one, and then move me through.
So, and this is the first thing I tell them, that there is a subculture in the police academy that's paramilitary.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. But I'm always very cognizant that I have to remind them that there's a line of demarcation when you're in the police academy and once you get out. And the way that you are, the instructors are, the way our drill instructors are, that is not the way that police officers are or should be, right? Because to create some discipline, there's a lot of things that we do, and to add some stress into the police academy, there's a lot of things that we do as well. So there's a lot of screaming.
Yeah.
There's a lot of physical activity. There is, we're extremely strict. We have created an atmosphere where the things that you should do in life, we make them a have to. So instead of, I should say good morning,
Yes.
we tell you, no, you have to say good morning.
Yeah.
I should back up my fellow officer. No, you have to back up your fellow officer.
To go back to
Yeah.
that, it's not good morning to just the instructors.
Yeah. It's good morning to everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
The cleaning ladies, the cleaning personnel, anybody you see. Good morning, sir. Good morning,
Yeah.
ma'am. Go.
Yeah, the plumber,
Yeah.
and the chief from and because they're all humans, they all deserve
course.
respect. This is
course.
something that we try to instill in them. So it's extreme. It seems a little rigid, and I try to explain to them that that's what they have to expect. That there's going to be a sense of discipline that we're all going to have, but it's for the better, because there are some aspects in law enforcement that border the military.
Yeah.
There is a rank structure, right?
Yes.
There is a command, regiment, for lack of a better word, where you're told to stand a post or go to a perimeter post.
Yeah.
You have to follow those instructions.
Right.
So you're gonna get a lot of that. So that's the culture. But I then remind them that once you get out, we're here. If you think the most important thing is to be the strongest guy here, or the strongest girl, if you think the most important thing is to be the fastest or to know the most about the law and to be the best shooter, that is not. That is in the back burner. you have to be, at the end of the day, you have to be kind and respectful. That's all I ask. You know, the recruit that comes out of our academy, that's the best shot, that's the most physical, that's the smartest, does not impress me at all. But the one that shows compassion, you know, that shows empathy, you know, that shows respect, and that gives people a voice, right? An opportunity to talk.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I say, man, thank you for that. You know, thank you for knowing intrinsically that this is what we need. So be prepared for that. Be prepared to, and then we just happen to be, I want to say the most, if not the most physical academy in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
If not the universe. Yeah. We PT a lot, right, Nick?
A lot.
A lot. So,
Yeah.
and we will combine anything with PT, you know. We run to our cars, right?
Yes.
And we run,
Hustle.
we hustle to everything we do.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that.
Yeah.
It-
But with that hustle builds muscle.
It does.
I'm full of one-liners today. Hustle builds muscle.
Yeah, I like it.
But is, like you said, all rhyme and reason to everything that we're doing.
Yeah.
So continue.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, no, but you're right. So we're physical in nature.
Yes.
But at the same time, we know that every single recruit, including us, right? When we went into the academy, 70% of the things that we did were wrong. We messed up.
Yeah.
Okay? We didn't know what we were doing.
Yes.
And we understand that. So we give you a pass on those 70%. The 30%, you know, the grit, you know, to quote Ms. Duckworth, a great book if anybody wants to read it, to the heart,
Yeah.
you know, the never give up, the teamwork stuff. Man, those are volleyballs, right? You got to spike those.
Yeah.
You know, we don't give you a pass on those.
Yeah.
We don't give you a pass on integrity. So that 30% that you have, that is what's going to help you, you know, get the rest of the 70. You know, we'll teach you how to do a
Yeah.
DT fall.
Yeah.
You know, we'll teach you law. We'll teach you how to, you know, in a skid pad, you know, be able to correct and shuffle steer.
Mm-hmm.
But give us those other 30%.
Yeah.
So,
So we're not holding you accountable for the things you don't know.
correct.
But these are the things that you should possess
Yes.
already.
Yeah.
And this is what we're looking for.
Character
You got it?
traits.
We're going to help you get
Yeah.
through this other stuff.
Yeah, we don't develop leaders in our academy. You know, we just mold them a little bit more.
Yeah.
You're already a leader. You're already someone that has taken that step.
Yes.
So we just nudge you the right direction. So you need to have those things. Then the other stuff is cognitively intensive.
Curriculums.
Curriculums.
Yes,
You
a
have
book.
You have
Yeah.
to, you know, if you're in the later stages of your life and you're 30, 32 years old, which is nothing wrong with it.
Later.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on
know.
now.
In life,
I'm in my
to be starting.
prime.
To be starting. So if you're 38, oh, it's getting closer. So if your doorbell's a pineapple, okay, I'm stopping.
That's from the previous owners. I'm getting the ring.
Okay.
Getting the ring.
I didn't know you were gonna catch it.
Yeah,
So
I
if
know.
if you haven't gone to school for a while,
Yeah.
you know, and you don't have a study habit, or if you don't like to read, if you don't like to get with others to make you better because you're in a study group environment, and man, you're gonna have a tough time because there's a lot of tests that you need to pass that are just important when it comes to law enforcement, and one of them being legal, which is one of the first, you know, blocks that we do.
One of the long, actually is the longest, one of the longest blocks.
Yeah, it's like 62 hours.
Yeah, it's a long block.
And ever changing.
Yes.
Correct.
Ever changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, just to be clear, there's the academy that you have to pass.
Yeah.
Right. And throughout the academy, you can fail out of the academy, right?
Correct.
And then once you're done, congratulations, you're done. But however, you have to take the state exam. Yes?
Yes.
So we're gearing you up for that state exam.
Yeah, the curriculums that we have put in place that come from, you know, FDLE, come from
Yes.
CJSTC, are geared to get you ready for this, you know, end of term or end of academy exam, for you to put all those things together and pass. And if you do not pass, you know, you have 3 attempts, then you can't become a police officer.
For those people out there like my father that might still be listening, CJSTC, criminal justice and Criminal Justice and Training Standards Commission.
Very good.
Very good.
I
Yeah.
got tongue-tied for a second, but
That's why he's got the
Because you
computer.
said dad, you know.
Hey,
The
I know,
one-
I'm watching
you
you want to see
shout,
my screen? It's not there.
you shout out your dad so he could look at you and you mess it up.
Yeah, I got nervous.
Yeah.
with it. Tongue-tied.
If you would have said uncle, it would have been.
Yeah.
So Sally fell teacher was by the teacher.
Yeah.
But it was good. That's good because we said it a couple of times, and again, we gotta.
We got to remember the terminology.
You're right,
Sometimes.
you're right.
Some people might still be listening and get it there.
I communicate good with the third graders, so I'm the one that's hey boys and girls, you know.
You get that. I'll get those middle of the road,
yeah.
those middle-aged folks. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
All right.
Excellent.
Hey guys, just wanted to let you know that the new video Operation Smooth featuring TTOG is now up on Nick Off Duty. So as soon as the podcast is over, head on over there and check it out now. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
Okay, and we're back. Anyways,
And we're back.
So we covered. So basically, to sum it all up, in the academy, to expect some yelling. Okay, but there's rhyme and reason. There's a rhyme and reason behind all that. So you got to have thick skin.
Yeah.
That translates out to the real world. Yada yada yada. You're on a call, somebody yelling. You need to have your bearings. Okay. Then we talked about PT, physical training.
Yeah.
Got to be strong. All right. Running, all this stuff. DT, defensive tactics, shooting, firearms, right?
Firearms.
And curriculum.
Yeah. Driving too.
Driving. We have driving.
CPR and
first aid. First
Yeah.
aid. And then it's more about. Also, we're focusing on who you are, right?
Yeah.
That 30%.
Yeah.
So to wrap that up,
And let me add this real quick. Within the blocks of instruction, there's also responding to calls. There's a crisis curriculum.
Oh, yeah.
There's a dealing with a diverse communities curriculum that's extremely important.
Yes.
There's a lot of things within it. You know.
oh yeah, I was just in the bullet points, but there is those guys for every thing that we talked about. There's like 10 things that come out of that.
Correct.
So there's a
it's
lot
6
more.
months worth of.
Yeah.
It's 770 hours, but our academy does close to 1,000 plus.
Yeah.
You know, 1,008, 1,010. So within it, we get you as prepared as we can of what you're gonna face. You know, in a school setting, in an academy setting.
So yeah, a couple blocks that I teach myself because now I'm at the academy. I recently became a firearms instructor, so I'm on the range. But it's also discretionary shooting, which is like different situations you put in. I also teach fundamentals of patrol, which is essentially just how to be a patrol officer, respond to calls. If there's a perimeter, how to deal with subjects, and then vehicle traffic investigation, traffic crash investigation, which is essentially we do a lot of that out, figuring out what happened with the crash, how to render aid, stuff. Then on backups on another multitude of subjects. So there's just an array. There's a whole bunch of topics, but to hit the base, to get you prepared for exactly what I'm going to ask you next is how do I survive the police academy? Because some people don't make it.
Yeah.
Some people, they might not even make the hiring process, or they get to it and then they get to the academy and then they don't survive.
Yeah.
Essentially not survive where they die, but they fail out.
They fail out.
What have you seen? Because you've been there longer
Yeah.
than I have, of course, and you're up at the top and you've had to let people go. How do you survive the police academy?
Yeah. So, and just so they could understand as well, just like in any school, there are exit points.
Yeah.
And there's a demerit system. So in our academy, if you get to a certain amount of demerits, we kick you out.
Okay.
And each demerit has a value point. So if you, like for us, integrity and not lying and being honest is extremely important. It's at the top.
Yeah.
So that could get you kicked out immediately.
Yes.
But you receive that manual, and okay, if I'm late, I know I'm gonna get a demerit.
Yeah.
And it seems like, oh man, a demerit for being late, is that kind of silly? But if Nick, if I can't trust you to put black socks on, okay, and be in a uniform that I'm telling you, how could I trust you to stand on a perimeter post where someone just got shot?
Yeah.
So it seems small, but we're trying to create these habits, to continue to go towards that excellence that we're trying to do.
And if those character flaws do exist, you will expose them hopefully on a lesser level and in a level that's not bad for the agency that this person works for and all that in the academy.
Yeah.
Remember, this is day one This is your first impression. This is your first time being around in this profession, and you can't wear black socks or whatever the major was saying. Side note: I'm wearing Crocs with 0 socks on right now. I am.
I did kind of feel like he was.
He did look at me.
Speaking about you.
He looked at me
some of those factors.
straight in the eye, and then he looked down like he was looking at.
I actually kicked you. I don't know. I may have missed.
Let me think of the first thing someone could do wrong. Wear Crocs.
Wear Crocs with socks on.
So surviving. There's a demerit system. Enough demerits. They get out.
At the midway point, you meet with me, and it's kind of your come to Jesus moment where I say, hey, you might have potential, but you're leading down a road that you might not be able to get back. And a lot of times is because they're just good. And you can't be good in our academy. You have to be great. Good is the biggest enemy of greatness, of trying to do something that's extremely important in your life. So we've seen that there's how could I say it, a group or a type of recruit that is not what we want to have, right? And I'll give you an example. There's a couple. The first one is that, and if you remember him or her from your academy, do not say it out loud.
I won't say their names.
I won't say their names.
Like,
okay.
Oh yeah.
So then the first one is like the super recruit. Okay. This recruit is the one that thinks that they know it all. They either have some type of past experience, or they know somebody, and they know how to do everything before you even teach them. They are the ones that it's all about them. Even though we constantly say, and Nick, you're there, right? Well, we constantly say, this is not about you, and this is not about me. This is about we. Law enforcement in itself, right, in its core, is about everybody else but you. Starting with the residents that we serve. Starting with everybody else. We have chosen a career where you're number 2. Okay, and in between that, you do well because even after you come in, your partner is in between that line. So it's the resident you serve, then your partners, and then even after your partner, there's another line where it's like your family. You're doing this because you want to come back to them and you want to do great, and then comes you. Okay, and in your case, first is me. You got to protect me, and then you're like there's 7 people.
Protect the major.
Misael or all this. But that super recruit, granted, he does great, but he doesn't make people better. The second he graduates, he's putting in for like the homicide unit, right? Or he wants to be in the jump off squad and stuff like that. Then there's the whatever. Let's call him Rick. We call him the entertainer recruit.
Wait, is his last name Rarez?
No, Merez.
Does he have a YouTube channel called The Rick Off Duty?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Already?
So this is the entertainer, huh?
No, the entertainer recruit. Not saying that you remind me of him.
Yeah. Justin, be sure to edit this part out.
I just wrote a note.
Edit this part out.
So that recruit.
My channel.
My channel only.
Nobody makes fun of me in my podcast.
So thank you for being Rick. So
Thank you for volunteering.
You can move on to the next one.
Yeah. So he's not mature enough. Okay. For whatever reason. And let me say this. It's great to have times of comedy, and it's great to have times of humor in the academy. As stressful as it is, right? So we welcome the Ricks. But you got to know when to do it, right? So the entertainer recruit is the one that the second you bring out like the CPR doll and you're like, oh man, I hope he doesn't do anything with it. You got me something crazy.
So what did you do with it?
I didn't do anything.
Thank God. You bring out the Aspaton and he becomes like a drum major all of a sudden. He's like Nick Cannon.
Guilty.
Guilty. So it's good.
It was more Star Wars to be honest.
It's good to have that type of recruit there, but you just need to know when to do it and how to do it. And you can't be that all the time. Yeah. Then there's the.
I've got fun stories.
You got too many.
I'm really fighting myself to not bring a story.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, all right. So then there's the.
Yeah, the entertainer.
Yeah, entertainer. You got the super, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the super recruit then becomes super rookie. Then
Yeah.
he gets promoted to Captain Radio. Then he becomes El Presidente or whatever it is that they have there.
yeah.
He's
have,
just
have a unit set up a perimeter.
yeah, exactly.
that guy.
He just becomes. It's all about him. And once again, granted, there's a lot of great recruits that come, but just let us make you better.
Yeah.
You know, you have this. Don't the 30% that you know, allow us to give you that other 70% that makes you great.
Yeah.
There's the then there's the and man, I would hate to bring this one up, but there's like the mom recruit or the abuelita, recruit, and then this recruit, and we see it a lot.
Yeah.
And we often see it, with the 38-year-olds that they come in at a later life, and they're just worried about everybody else doing well, and that man, I love that. However, before you motivate others, you have to self-motivate. Okay, so you can't be that one that says, "Hey, let's go, guys," and everybody get your stuff together, and then you don't have a gun belt on.
Yeah.
We see them all the time going up the bridge, right, in Biscayne.
Yeah,
Nick,
they're screaming.
and they're screaming, "Let's go, guys!" And then when you look back, they're in the back.
Yeah.
And they look like that, the used car salesman dolls that are just flapping in the wind. So you're like, no, man, get your act together before you can make others better.
Quick point on them. Usually the best bakers.
Yes,
In the
yeah.
class, cookies, brownies, all that stuff. Delicious.
Yeah. So, because it's important for them to be there, right? But we all have to understand that in law enforcement, you're responsible for your own actions all the time. You can't, and you're responsible for making good decisions at all times. You can't have someone, that really cares about you at every single step.
Yeah.
Telling you what to do and how to do it and when to do it. You eventually have to be autonomous and say, this is who I am. I've created so many good habits that, I'm self-productive.
Yeah.
And then lastly, which is my favorite recruit, let's call him Dustin. It's the learner.
Yeah.
So this is the recruit that comes in and says, man, I know all these things, and I am, I've learned from my past that this is how it works, but teach me, tell me how to do it. Tell me how I could do it better,
Well, I can really speak to that point.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Rustin.
How could I edit that?
Yeah. Dustin.
Dustin. I wish my name was Bustin. So, no, the learner recruiter.
Why didn't you use a D for my name?
Exactly. And that is why you're the entertainer.
Yeah, proved it again.
But no, seriously, the learner's the one who we want. That they might know the answer, but they're trying to make their answer better through our training.
Yeah.
They know how important it is to motivate, but they're doing it by example. They know that they have to remind everybody to be on time, but they're first on time and say, hey, follow my lead type of thing.
Yeah.
So that if you become that, if you allow yourself to be molded, and I don't want it to sound like a cult, but if you
drink the Kool-Aid.
yeah, exactly. Because the one thing we say, pride is the worst enemy when it comes to law enforcement. Because even 25 years on and 20 years on, and
killer, man.
it is bad.
Wow.
So you have to allow others to make you better, and then in turn influence others to make them make them good as well.
Would you say maybe get an accumulation of all of them, like a smorgasbord of a little bit of the mom? I forget what you.
Yeah,
the mom, the entertainer, the super.
Yeah.
That would be the fourth one that you just named, more or less?
Yeah, recruit Stamos, so let's call him. No, I'm kidding.
Stamos. Oh, my God.
No, I was awful.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah. But like,
you're right. A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Know the time when to be the best.
Yes.
Know the time to give the right answer.
Yeah.
Know the time to tell everybody when you need to be here.
Yeah.
And know the time to say something while everybody's really down and say,
Yeah.
guys, come on, and make a joke is what we want. It's just very difficult. But there's been recruits that, and currently we have a couple that are now instructors. That there were that model recruit where we say, man, you got the recipe.
Yeah. And I can say from some working with my colleagues, and not because they're my partners there at work, man, they're phenomenal, and they really care.
Yeah.
And to see them the way that they're going above and beyond
Yeah.
to give 150%,
Of course.
Man, it's great working with those guys, and it rubs off.
Yeah, it
you know?
does.
It gets me up to 60%.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah.
I give it my all when I'm over there
Yeah.
with the recruits.
And let me say this before, because if I don't, the success of our academy has been, and I want to give myself 1% just so I could be in the just so I could be in the
I'm the
discussion.
major.
Yeah, just so I could be in the discussion.
Yeah.
But it would be worse. It would be less. 99%, is the Sergeant Reyes, the Lieutenant Guillots, the Sergeant Paulises, the the Nicks, the Perez Valdivias. I'm not gonna name everybody.
Kodos.
Yeah, Kodo, the Kirksies.
There's too many.
There's too many.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, shout out to
everybody in my unit. They're gonna get pissed at into them.
I know exactly.
Matt. I know.
Please put all the names. Man, you guys are
Gotta say everybody.
Damn it.
Michelle, Bernal, damn it, Richie,
Keep going.
List.
Yeah, I was gonna let you go.
Mario, Joe, Big Time
Yeah.
Joe. Archie.
Yeah, Rich.
Archie. He's got a new
Yeah.
class coming up.
You said Richie, right?
I said Richie.
You said Richie.
So,
You want to know when everybody drops the
Farinas,
podcast?
Bernal.
Michelle, yeah.
Bernal.
Yeah, Bernal. Damn. D. Got it. Forget me. DeRozier. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of that.
We'll do that.
Inside scoop.
You missed one, but I'm not gonna say it. It's gonna be your
Pla,
fault.
my boy Pla. He's gonna be on the podcast.
That's the best.
Let's cut it and take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Shout out to all those guys.
What's up, everybody? It's Justin here. Just wanted to tell you about our friends over at D&B Tile Distributors. There's 6 locations all across South Florida for whatever you need, from accessories, installation materials, marble, stone, sealers, cleaners, tiles, of course, different tools that you might need. Go over and check out their website, dbtile.com. And when you go in there, tell them that the Donut Shop podcast sent you. Now back to the show.
All right, and we're back.
Let's get into the nitty gritty. We're in the home stretch.
Let's get it.
All right. Let's talk about the actual things, the things that can because there's an array, there's a whole bunch. We'll be here for another 5 hours. What are some things that can get you kicked out of the police academy?
So, and I guess and this is not from me. This is a quote from someone else that I tell all the recruits that we'll forgive a mistake of the mind, but a mistake of the heart is, where we draw the line.
Yeah.
So anything that we see that you did intentionally to hurt someone else, or intentionally because it's who you are, this is your character, this is what you're trying to achieve in life, we don't forgive any of that. And in its core, it's integrity.
Yeah.
So any integrity issues, anything where you lie and you say you did something and you didn't, or you show a sense of distrust, we say no to. And
Some examples.
some examples is
Cheating on a test.
You're
Yeah.
done.
Bye-bye.
It goes from 1 demerit to 100. You will not be in our academy.
Okay.
Disrespect, like blatant disrespect
Yes.
against first yourself,
Yeah.
another recruit, another trainee, the person that cleans our dorms, anybody is the same as the chief of police.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't, there's not levels to disrespect. It should be you respect everybody, no matter who they are, but because of who they are. We don't tolerate any of that. We don't tolerate fighting.
That's what I was gonna say. Fighting.
Fighting, yeah. I've been there, thank God. We've never had something like that.
Sounds like it could be one of the top.
Yeah. So, but believe it or not, I've heard it. And then outside of the academy, which is kind of a misnomer, which we let the recruits know that our academy is 365.
Yeah.
You're not off duty at any time. Your conduct becoming a Miami police recruit at all times. And because of that, you do something that is going to tarnish your reputation, that is going to tarnish your image, along with ours, along with Nick's, along with, anybody.
Rick.
Yeah, Rick.
And Dustin.
Can't forget about Rick. You're out as well. So, unfortunately, some of the troubles that we've had in the past in our academy is that off-duty type of,
Getting caught up in the law off duty.
correct.
Yeah.
So if you think you're gonna disobey any traffic law, you think you're gonna disobey the Florida State statute,
Yeah.
if you think you're going to, get into fights,
A bar
a
fight,
bar fight or something like that, or use any of the equipment that we've given you to train, and use it against someone else, or be funny about it. That those things are not jokes at all. So we let the recruits know. Anybody listening out here, it's just a transition into law enforcement too, because we're supposed to act a certain way, which is to uphold the law and not be above it at all times. It doesn't mean that just because I have a badge now and a gun, I could get in front of the line at the restaurant. Or I could go 110 miles an hour because I'm late to roll call. Or because,
Or the podcast.
Or the podcast, yeah, exactly. It's the same. Nothing changes in the academy. And then after you become a police officer, after you get promoted, after you become chief of police, you are still, you're not more important than anybody else. As a matter of fact, we hold you more accountable.
Yeah.
So that's extremely important. If you're doing something on a weekend and you think because you're in Cancun that whatever happens there stays there, no, that's not. We'll come back and we'll say thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, you're essentially you're under a magnifying glass right now because this is the first time that a police department is looking at you.
Yeah.
And so what you do now is, well, how can I entrust this person 25, 30 years? And you're doing it in the first month, 2 months of your career.
Yeah, once they've really had the the pressures of the job coming at them from the different angles and stuff, like these are the real stress tests in the academy. And it's also that first time for some people that they may be coming into that kind of stress.
Yeah.
So it's like you're coming from this job or this lifestyle that you may have had 2 months ago, 6 months ago, depending on where you are in the academy, and now these stressors are hitting you. You know.
There's
how can you
there's something that you mentioned, Cancun. So how would one know that they were in Cancun? Social media.
Yeah.
So that's a thing too, right? Well, I mean, what's some guidance for a recruit? Like, hey, like that stuff. Yeah, you're squared away, but man, if you're out there doing stuff, it's like you're on social media. That's big too.
Teach a lot of that in the academy nowadays, like whereas I went through the academy 15 years ago and there was only a little bit here and there where they would mention, or you'd hear it from other officers, because that's one of the things that I do as soon as I get a swearing in. I take the pictures of these individuals and I post them on our department's Facebook page, and I watch for their family to start sliding in the comments, and I go on a scouting mission. And it's gotten better as far as what I find, but that's some of the stuff that that people getting into their career need to understand on how they represent themselves on their social media and what's seen by the public. And so if I'm the public and I'm looking at it, I want to see. And so I've found a few, and then they come to me for like an orientation in the department, in their first couple weeks, and I say, I found this on your page. You might want to think about it. I found this. I didn't find anything on yours. Bravo. You know. So do you guys?
It's a burner account.
A lot of it has to do with maybe old posts, that have been there a while, and it's just, you might want to, as a recruit, you might want to go through and say, I'm now headed into this profession. It's time to grow up a little bit, and I need to manage my social media account accordingly. And at one point, maybe not even have a social media account for a little bit while you're in the academy. Tip: academy, shut it down for anything, video games, whatever. Like, go. I know you have that, and you talk to the recruits a lot.
It's one of the last things I tell them in orientation. I tell them, you just got into the playoffs. Time to concentrate on this.
It's game time. Yeah.
It's game time. It's God, family, and then this. Okay, so that could get you in a lot of trouble because it's kind of hypocritical. A lot of the things that unfortunately in social media get you in trouble is you acting in the same manner that you're telling people not to act when you're responding to a call.
Yes.
So you're telling someone, hey, it is against the law to be disorderly intoxicated, and picking a fight or being, throwing stuff at people and getting really loud at a restaurant. But all of a sudden you're exhibiting those same things that you're saying you're going to uphold.
And not necessarily even them, but it's some things that they're sharing or they're engaging with.
Good
so
point.
it's not necessarily just them. It's like things that they're sharing. And like, man, this is probably not the smartest thing. And you got to get in tune, because now you're speaking as a law enforcement officer or recruit that's going to be.
Yeah, and more important, you're speaking now as a public servant.
Yes.
So the level is a little bit higher. And I don't want to make it seem as though I'm taking your your rights away and your freedom of speech and all that stuff. That's a conversation for someone else. What I'm trying to tell you is that be careful what you represent, because one day it might, you might be questioned for it.
Yeah.
Be careful putting all these things where you're drunk in public, and then you're doing a DUI trial, and this comes up.
Yep.
Always the example that I use.
Always the example,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yeah.
and then more importantly, in the academy, be careful you taking a selfie, with your uniform on, doing something, with your handcuffs,
Yeah.
because you're gonna get kicked out of ours.
So-
careful what type of podcast you do and things like that.
With Ricks. Well, anything. So we got fighting, we got lying, we got cheating, we got
Social media
some
indiscretions.
scandalous
Yeah.
scandals on
Yeah.
social media. Law enforcement, like if you get in trouble with the law.
What about grades and physicality, or like PT tests?
Yeah,
or
and then there's-
physical training.
Well, that's
tests?
that would be a failure.
A failure, right?
So kicked out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we don't kick
Meaning-
you out for that. You fail yourself.
Okay,
We
right,
celebrate.
very good, very good, very good.
I've never failed anybody out of our academy. You failed yourself. You didn't study for that exam. You came in knowing that you had to PT and
Yeah.
you're 20 pounds overweight. You did not, you you have a suspended license,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, you didn't tell us about it. That's you doing that to yourself.
Yeah.
But things that are gonna get you kicked out, that we personally would say, hey, you're not our fit. Those are the main ones.
Yeah. And that demerit system is one thing too. So it's
Yeah.
not. So it doesn't have to be something as huge as getting arrested or fighting, but little by little, my man or my woman, those things will add up, and that will tip the scale the same as is one giant thing,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and because it's just like work.
Just like
It's,
just like
right?
your job,
Progressive
yeah.
discipline is
Yeah.
we're preparing you to be an effective law enforcement public servant. That's what we're trying to do. And if you think you're gonna get 3 reprimands for crashing your car, and your agency's not gonna say, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You got something coming to you. So if you think you're gonna, crash your car coming to work because you're speeding 3 times, and we're not gonna say something about it, it's showing, it's forecasting, right?
Yeah.
It's giving us that self-fulfilling prophecy of what you might do in the future. So if we could stop it now, I'm not gonna put no one with a badge and a gun serving others that that might be a detriment to them.
All right. Now, gets kicked out of the academy. Police work 2020. People are all screaming for some kinds of, or no, I don't want to say screaming, but they're asking for some kind of reform or whatever. But I know that you, especially you, are a forward thinker, and you come up with programs in the academy that are like, I'm like, wow, we have this, or we're doing this. One being, and it goes as extreme as yoga. That's right, yoga
Stretching.
is implemented into our
Wellness.
academy. So I want to ask some things, and yoga being
Yeah.
one of them, you could touch on that. Some things that you've implemented or together
Yeah.
with, of course, the assistant chiefs, the chiefs,
Yeah.
and the little guy Nick down below,
Yeah.
that you've come up with. What are some things that you're looking forward or you're forward thinking on?
Yeah. So that's one of them. We think meditation, and we think, well, I want to say not meditation per se, but mental preparation is such a big part of law enforcement. And you guys probably remember when you were in patrol, I used to prepare myself mentally to calls that I had never been to.
Oh yeah.
Self-talk.
Yeah, self-talk. You give yourself a replay sometimes, and you give yourself a rep rather before the call even existed, right? So yoga allows you to do that in the sense of calming your mind, being able to understand how important breathing is. We could have a whole podcast on breathing, how important I think it is, and then on just the exercise behind yoga. That is, if you haven't tried it,
Really hard.
it's really hard.
really
I was doing it on a stand-up paddleboard yesterday in Olita.
Yeah. So look at that, and
A
it's
very bad example.
yeah, very, but it's great for building yourself physically and then of course mentally as well. We've implemented, and this is all our guys and girls, right? We do ride-alongs. We have mandatory community projects.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
I see that. I've seen that a lot. Yeah, the different stuff that.
I didn't have that in the academy.
classes
I
do.
did
So
not
each
have
PAC
that.
class has to pick something in the community they want to either fix or they want to help out on.
Or a bridge.
bridge.
Build a bridge.
Yeah, anything to
And
extent.
they're out there, and that's on their own time, right?
And it's part of the academy, so
Oh,
instead of it's us saying, yeah, we think exercising is important. 10 hours of just straight PT, but what's even more important is being out there with the community, understanding that it's not always gunfight, robbery, sexual assault, report writing, accident. Sometimes is, let me talk to you. You know,
that's great.
And what we want to build is legitimacy, is the opportunity for our residents to trust us and to listen to us because we're trustworthy.
Yeah.
Because we respect them, because we treat everybody equally. And more important, because we give them a voice, a time to talk to us and say, hey, my name is Nick. Your name is so. How could I help you?
Yeah.
So we do 2 community projects at least. We help our disabled community a lot. We go to Mactown.
Yeah.
We go to Sandra de Luca, which is a great facility in Flagami as well, where there's individuals with learning disabilities and physical disabilities, trying to instill, hey, you need to help those that need help the most. And I think
beautification. I didn't want to
like on that one. That one can also get him into the if they've never had in their life and been involved in or met a person maybe with those disabilities or those impairments that maybe with speaking or different things, so they have a better understanding because they're definitely going to run into it when they have a gun and a badge on, that they understand in a better environment how to work with those people and how to help them out if they need help. That's good. That's great.
Yeah, and then I was also saying beautification, identifying areas, going out, talking to some residents or business owners, and then they're saying, yeah, man, this lot is really killing us, and they'll go out there and they'll, all right, let's work together, come on out, and when we're going to do a garden on this day, you guys want to enjoy, and they do it, beach cleanups. Man,
the beach cleanups,
there's a lot of stuff that the academy does that when I was going through it, not to knock my academy back in the day, they don't do.
No,
they do not do.
It's very very cool, and then it helps. I would think with teamwork and team building and stuff.
But the most
building with the public.
Yeah, of course. But and at the end of the day, the principal lesson here is that, man, we're here to serve. If serving is below you in law enforcement, any type of leadership is below you. It's not for you. So I have to, being where I'm at, if I cannot do a beach cleanup with you guys, if I cannot help, a veteran's house that fought for our country,
we have veterans.
And I can't help clean up his house, what am I good for? Like if you can't trust me with that, if I think that I'm too good to do that, if you're a police officer and you have a badge and a gun and all this power, but you don't know how important it is to help someone that fought for our country because now his house needs repair, man, I honestly think that we don't need you.
Yeah. Can I attest to the academy and those strategies and the way we're implementing those beliefs? Not too long ago, a hurricane came through. And not to say I don't see officers do things all the time. I don't want to say that. But there was a group of officers that went out and they put up shutters on their own. Not saying they were in uniform up on the roof of going to second floors. And I think that just they went through the academy that core that topic or the what's it called the principle what you implement
building community partnerships.
There it is they're off. They've been on a couple years and they're up there. Boom, 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 putting up shutters. And I thought, man, that just attests to the principles and the strategies that have been implemented and the beliefs that have been implemented. It's showing. At least with my agency out there. And I know other agencies are following suit. But huge. What's that?
Stop clicking your pen.
Stop clicking my pen.
It picks up on the mics.
Anything else? Forward thinking?
The thing that we're doing now, which I think is extremely important too, we've added implicit bias for a very long time. So before you go out into what we call SBT or
so what's implicit bias?
So implicit bias is understanding that even well-intentioned people, within them have biases towards different things. Yeah. And understanding them, having them be explicit, allows you to be a better police officer. There's another 50-minute conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much.
That we can't. But it's important for us to know that if you have an implicit bias towards, anything out there that you're sworn to protect, you need to make sure that, hey, it's on check. Yeah. Because if you're making a decision based on that, then you're not following what we're trying to get you to achieve.
Recognize those things inside yourself.
Correct. So it's a lot of self-awareness. It's a lot of emotional intelligence. So we have, one of our leadership specialists, Dr. Holton, come in, and he does a whole day where he teaches a course. University of Central or South Florida, one of those. Dr.
Hopefully
Friedel.
Central Florida.
Yeah, probably Central Florida. Might be Dr. Friedel.
Go Knights.
She-
Yeah.
good plug on her. She's done a great job on this, and it's something that we do, as well. I want to start doing some more emotional intelligence or emotional survival type stuff with our academy recruits. That's coming probably in this class.
Yeah.
Emotional survival, or rather emotional stamina, is something that in law enforcement we have not done a very good job at. And I think because of what we're going through,
Emotional stamina will be getting to your breaking point
yeah,
and then acting off on emotions.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just actually having emotional stamina just means getting to that point and being able to say, hey, you still have a job to do.
Yeah.
Remember why you're here. Remember your why. Remember
Yeah.
that purpose that we talked about. And you're not going to let your emotions act in a way that is not consistent with who you are.
Yeah.
We just don't do a very good job at it, honestly.
I think, and this is a conversation that can go on
Yes,
and on and
yeah.
on. But I think after being put through the ringer, after years and years of doing stuff, it's important to revisit that
Yeah.
because you can become desensitized to
Callous.
yeah,
Yeah.
because of that. And it's like anything, like changing tires. It's time. Time to change these tires in the car, man.
Right.
It's just not riding right.
Yeah.
I need to get these tires and get the alignment back. So it's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge thing. We can talk. We can go on and on and on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that-
we're going to start implementing more of that because we do it, but we have to make a deliberate effort to say, man, our officers out there need some help, man.
Yeah.
It's okay to say that you're not okay. We've heard it a lot. And I want to prepare our recruits to take on these challenges.
Yeah.
What we've gone through in the last couple of months,
Yeah.
COVID as well.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
We forget
That's
that,
stressful.
That in itself is its own.
it's its
Yeah.
own. We don't realize.
Add more things.
Of course.
Yeah.
And just to put in perspective, man, I don't want to go too much on another topic, but we lost over 200 officers last year on suicide.
Yeah.
And it's something that we have to take a hold of and say, hey, man, this is important. Either we are losing officers just because of the stress of the job, and it's silently hurting us.
Yeah.
And what are we doing as trainers? And I'm putting it on my
Yeah.
shoulders and on your shoulders. What are you doing on a daily basis to say, hey, after you get home, these are the things you got to look out for, and get yourself a mentor, get someone that could intervene, get a peer, get someone that you could talk to, because it's hurting us and it's going to continue to hurt us because we've always been the ones to protect, but when it's time for someone to protect us,
Yeah.
we don't want to raise the hand.
Stuff that thing away, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Then
Drink it down.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
bubbles up. So to go back to the first question one of the first questions, with everything that's going on, because this is piggyback on what we were just talking about. Everything that's going on today, is it still a profession that somebody was like, I was thinking about it maybe a couple months ago, but now I don't know so much. What do you say to that person that's there listening right now, and they're an hour and change into it,
Yeah.
and they're still tacked in?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. What do you say to that person? Are we still a go on that?
So honestly, I think the answer is no.
No.
The answer is actually a must. It is not to quote George Masvidal. It's super necessary. We need, and for the most part, man, what I've seen, this is my experiences alone, the vast majority, if not all, of the recruits that are coming in now are extraordinary people. We've, for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, we've seen men and women come in to pursue a profession in the midst of hurricanes,
Yep.
in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of racial tensions in the United States,
Civil unrest.
civil unrest,
Yeah.
okay? A lot of pain.
Yeah.
And we need those type of individuals
Yeah.
that are saying, I know all this is going on, but I am going to make a difference. I know this is going on, but if not for me, who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and if you want to be a law enforcement in this day and age, it's because there's something special about you.
Ooh.
Maybe kind of similar to like those people that jumped in right after 9/11 and said, you know what,
Oh, yeah.
I got a job to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to join the military,
big.
and I'm gonna head over and I'm gonna help out, and
Yeah.
so this is now our time.
Yeah.
This is 2020 when you have to make those decisions now and say, yeah, this. I see how bad it could get. I'm ready for it, and I'm ready to hit the ground running and make a difference in that career, and hopefully the difference that some people are asking for too.
And those are the men and women that we need.
Yeah.
Well, and we don't need the plan Bs right now.
If you're not that, you can still be a firefighter.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I didn't want to say it, but you said it.
I talked to some firefighters. They've been getting upset with us.
I love firefighting. If it's that friendly, that brotherly battle. we got
it is. Yeah, we love them too. But
Yeah.
if this is your plan A, and then your plan A is be a police officer, and your plan A is be you get me?
Yeah.
This is for you, because this is who we need right now. We don't need someone that's on the fence. We don't need someone that's lukewarm. We need someone that's hot, that says, this is my passion.
Yeah.
I've learned from everything that's going on. I'm going to go out there and make a difference like nobody's business. I'm going to go out there and treat people with respect. I'm going to go out there and be brave and be courageous. And I'm going to go out there and make real good decisions. Okay? And I'm not knocking of anything that's been going on.
Yeah.
But I am going to prepare myself, like we said, right? Practice on my craft, that when I'm placed in a situation that is extremely tough, I am going to make so many right decisions along the way that is going to allow me to succeed, make my department look well, protect everybody that I need to protect, okay? And then encourage others to say, man, I want to be like Nick. You get me? I want to be like Justin. You get me? So it's not, is this a good time to be in law enforcement? It's actually, this is the perfect time, because who we're going to get are the ones that have said, hey, I am ready for this.
Yeah.
This is why I signed up for it.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up to, be behind a desk. I signed up to go out there and protect when I needed to protect, but also connect when I need to connect. Okay?
It's good.
Sounds
so,
good, man.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm in podcast land and on YouTube land, Dr. Major Ramos, salud. We want to get you back on. You guys have questions? I want to drink.
If you have questions,
gotta
feel
drink.
free to throw them in the comments or tweet them to us.
We'll get him back
anything
on
like that.
for sure.
Yeah, throw them to us, and we'll make sure you get some next time.
Yeah, that's correct. So I want to thank you. It
was a pleasure.
For your time. An awesome shirt. I'm gonna.
Thank you.
I know an hour and change into it.
It looks like the one they gave me
I was gonna
back
say
in 6th grade.
I didn't want to say
Let
anything.
me joke. Let me make fun of myself
It's a
before
dare
you. man.
shirt.
Yeah. Shout out to my SRO Dobson that gave me this.
So thank you for coming on. A major of police stopping by. Huge. So I want to thank you for that. And
Thank
Jay,
you.
anything?
Thank you very much. Yeah, very good.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you guys.
All right.
All right.
Calling all units, calling all units. Donut shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.